Hello, everybody. I am going live today to talk a little bit about something that interests all of us, and that is the neuroscience that is behind Cognomovement and the incredible changes that we get. It seems almost like it shouldn't even be possible to get the type of changes that we do, but once you understand a little bit more about the relationship of your eyes to your brain and your spinal cord, all of a sudden it just makes all the sense in the world. So it turns out that everywhere we look as humans is a different part activating our brain. So whether this is our peripheral vision or our non-focus vision or eyes up or eyes down, we're activating these different parts. So today, what we're going to go do is very simple. We're going to go around the clock, and we're going to learn about all of the different positions. So this is going to be really fun. And I'll try to make it pretty quick for you so you just kind of get a light overview of this. So here we go. The 12 o'clock position, meaning straight up. This area, interestingly enough, was researched and published in Neuropsychology 2020 that this actually is the occipital lobes of your brain. The visual cortex gets activated, your creativity, your curiosity, all of these things, you find that you will get an enhancement from. So if you're trying to learn something new, or you're having a situation where you want to see another point of view, eyes up. Also, interestingly enough, with this, when you have your eyes up, you have a real problem crying. So if you have a wedding, a funeral, something like that, you can actually put your eyes up and it'll stop you from crying. So this area, your visual recall, your imagination, your accessing visual memory, there's another amazing function that happens in this position, and your body relaxes. So the interesting thing about this, as we go through the clock around, you'll see that the different areas have these different functions. And that means that if you're focused on a problem, different parts of your brain can take a look at this. That not only position, but movement causes such brain activity and such perceptions that the old point of view has a hard time hanging on. So now we're on to the 1 o'clock position, and this is the prefrontal cortex. This is where your eyes are actually looking to this 1 o'clock position. The occipital lobe and the prefrontal cortex are involved in this area at the 1 o'clock position, and you construct new visual imagery, problem solving, goal setting. Your emotions that you feel are often linked with optimism and anticipation. Uh, and your sensory input are creative visualization. Now, this connection right here, connecting between the upward right gaze, allows you to do some abstract thinking. And this research is from the Cognitive Brain Search in 2019. At the 2 o'clock position, in the peripheral, is the parietal lobe and the temporal lobe. Your peripheral awareness and spatial problem solving. This is not only your alertness, but your excitement. This area combines spatial and visual awareness. Now, the beautiful thing about this is everybody has kind of experienced this. You might have found yourself on vacation, something like that, and you found yourself with that, alertness and excitement. So if you want to feel better, open that area up, and there's techniques to do that. The Basically, this suggests a connection with scanning your environments for not only your threats but your opportunities. Looking over the hard right, 3 o'clock. This is your temporal lobes. You're constructing auditory imagery and creative dialogue. Now, the emotion that goes with this is enthusiasm and creativity. You're imagining your future conversations and sounds. It's tied to activities and engagements of creative auditory processing. And this is out of a brain research a bulletin in 2017. The 4 o'clock position down and to the right, your amygdala, your temporal lobes are basically engaged in this position. You have emotional reflection, introspective problem solving. You have self awareness and contemplation of the emotions that you really go through here. The sensory inputs that you're getting in this particular location is the emotions and uh, uh, basically your thoughts around that. You engage your limbic system during this stress related introspection. So, this is a very important area. But know that if you're moving your eyes to another and you're experiencing this, other experiences are possible. So, as we move down to the 5 o'clock position, down and right in the peripheral, we're engaging the amygdala and prefrontal cortex in our peripheral here. This is integrating your emotions and your logical thoughts. You can experience, when you're focused here in your periphery, empathy and emotional clarity, balancing your feelings with reasoning. This is a little bit different than actually looking. This is your peripheral. It's tied to introspection and complex decision making. And this is really interesting because very well researched an EMDR study in 2021 that was done. The 6 o'clock position, down, straight down. This engages your limbic system, and I know that for any of you that are watching that heard that word, you're like sadness, humility, uh, emotional processing, self-reflection, inner dialogue. You're focused in on your emotions. Now, this downward gaze and emotional introspection is super important. Has value. However, if overdone, you can end up with some problems. And I'll point out, where is everybody looking when they're on their phone? The 6 o'clock position. We all do it, and we need to do a lot less of it for this reason. All right, 7 o'clock position, down and to the left, your peripheral vision. Again, your amygdala and temporal lobes, you're accessing stored emotional memories. Um, you can find yourself in a state of nostalgia, vulnerability. Your emotional triggers from past experiences really get activated here. Now, this area, what we find is at a certain distance as well, that a lot of people experience anger. Really incredible. Um, Psychological Science 2018. That's that data from that. At the 8 o'clock position, where you're physically looking down and to your left, your limbic system, your temporal lobes, you're reflecting on personal experiences, introspection, melancholy. You're revisiting emotional dialogues. Now, this highlights the connection to trauma recovery work. Again, an amazing study from EMDR Institute 2021. And your 9 o'clock position, this brain region is your left temporal lobe. Auditory memory recall, logical thinking, curiosity, and precision. So you got some precision work there that you need to do. Consider looking in that direction. You're accessing past connections or logical problem solving. This is a direct link to our verbal recall. And this is also out of Brain Research Bulletin 2017. In the 10 o'clock position, looking to the upper left, this is your occipital lobes and your temporal lobes, your occipital and your temporal lobes, that is, your memory synthesis of visual and auditory elements, 10 o'clock position, and nostalgia and reflection. Your visual and auditory memory integration happens here. There's evidence that ties this into multisensory memory activation. And this is from Neuropsychologia 2020 as well. At our 11 o'clock position, we have the occipital lobes, retrieving visual memory, revisiting images from the past, sentimental reflection, restructuring of past visual experiences. Brain scans show a connection to detailed visual memories. This is from Cognitive Neuroscience Studies in 2019. Now, if you're looking straight ahead, your prefrontal cortex, a neutral gaze, occipital lobes, engaging your attention and your focus on the immediate task. Emotional, as far as that goes, you might find neutrality and readiness. Your sensory processing, immediate sensory data when you're maintaining eye contact. The research on this highlights the role in direct communications and sustained attention. This is from the Journal of Attention Disorders in 2020. Now, super important, the peripheral vision, wide-gazed or unfocused vision, however you want to look at this. But this is the perennial and occipital lobes, and this has everything to do with your spatial awareness, emotional detection, being alert, calm, and you will you have environmental scanning for threats and changes. There's a link in between the peripheral vision and reduced stress and increased awareness. There's a fabulous whole project you can see at a few different ways. World Cognomovement Day, there was some of this. And then there was also an amazing episode on Gaia called a 5D, a simple method of 5D healing, and where Liz Larson had discovered this this relaxation impact that was involuntary from some very severe cases, and it is just amazing to see this in action in hopeless cases. Anyway, this is from Vision and Neurosciences 2021. That's your peripheral vision. And your peripheral vision is so much more important than any of us ever realized. This gives you a round the clock little view of what cognomovement impacts as we move through the different positions. So cognomovement not only moves your eyes to different positions, especially where there is difficulty, which a cognomovement practitioner can detect exactly where that is. Not only does it impact your brain by simply putting yourself into that, what I would call difficult eye position or eye position with resistance, but putting your eyes in different positions as you're focused on that particular thing, whether it's creating performance or overcoming a difficult issue. Now, Cognomovement is so much more than this. This is just one aspect of the neuroscience that I wanted to bring forward today for everyone so they know a little bit more about it. Your eyes, your brain, and your spinal cord are one system. In the future, we'll get into more of the different parts that Cognomovement uses to affect change. The most simple one there is, well, it's right in front of you. Thank you.